Hey guys, LEGO Minecraft 369 here, back with the first episode of LoSM Plot Holes. Sorry it's taken so long for me to get to this. So this is a semi-regularly uploaded series that's basically just going to explain some things that weren't too well explained in Legends of Spherus Magna. So let's start. I was a big BIONICLE fan when I wrote this, but I was unaware that the Matoran universe wasn't Aqua Magna, and that kind of created some complications when I learned that in the script. So I do have an explanation for how Magadi, Vortrix, and others got from the Matoran universe to Bara Magna and its moons. The ABBMT plan, which stood for Aqua, Boda, and Bara Magna Toa, was carried out by the Great Beings around the time the Nui robot was launched. It established two teams of Toa on each part of the shattered original Spherus Magna, so Aqua, Boda, and Bara Magna. The only team known on Bara Magna is extremely classified. The only known information is that Kuamai, Toe of Stone, was once a member of it, and all the other Toa from his team are presumably either dead or in hiding. One of the teams on Aqua Magna was the Toa Cow Cow. As the name suggests, they were modified by the Great Beings to be able to breathe in water. However, they all died of an unknown cause. The other team on Aqua Magna was the Toa Zepta. They watched over the Matoran on Terra Nui, one of the few large islands on Aqua Magna. Currently, every member except Metrip is a Turaga. Lastly, the Toa Vecta watched over a tribe of Iron Agori on Boda Magna. This was until Vortrix and another Makuta assaulted them. While the other Makuta was defeated, Vortrix single-handedly killed off most of the team. Nothing is known about the other Toa team except that they also died at the hands of the two Makuta. Now for some background information on Toa Metrip. He was part of the Toa team known as the Toa Zepta, as I previously mentioned, and if you're wondering, it's spelled like this. Metrip's teammates, Giuseppe, Gapi, Enwei, Gens, and Rensuoi, all became Turaga after the battle with the being later known as the Terra Caper. Each Toa Zepta also originally had a unique melee weapon adapted to their element, be it a sword, scythe, etc. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring it back, but as you can see, Metrip's was the scythe. Terra Nui was one of the largest landmasses on Aqua Magna, second only to Mata Nui. It was populated with Matoran of many different elements, some which not even existing in the Matoran universe. When Pterodax and the Mata Nui robot encountered the island, he terrorized the residents for the fun of it. Metrip and the Turaga Zepta got as many Matoran and Rahi as possible into the Matoran universe before Pterodax eventually obliterated the island. Keep in mind that I was 12 when I began scripting Legends of Spherus Magna. If I had been older, then I probably wouldn't have created the element of electricity. Electricity is really no different than lightning, other than the fact that the Matoran are male instead of female, and their color scheme is silver, yellow, and black. Zale Village is the peak village home to the Vomatoran and Elmatoran. I called it that because at the time I wrote this I didn't know there was a prefix for lightning, so I just made up Za and combined that with El. Zale. Genius. So far the only beings I've created to be bound to the element are Toa Rensuoi, Renui, and a Matoran mock yet to be shown named Zamari. Elmatoran were one of the aforementioned types of Matoran not created in the Matoran universe. Not only were there Matoran of foreign elements, but there were even Kra-Matoran and male Sea-Matoran. So this is the map I drew of the peak villages. The gray area is the region of the location. It's got Aqua Magna on the west border, the outskirts to the east and south. I'll let you kind of figure out, like, hypothesize what each symbol means, other than the light green mountains being the quote-unquote capital, Mata Nui Peak. Although I'll also tell you that in the outskirts, the blue zigzag is the Meku village where Akura came from, and the part on the lower side is Kraken Bara, which is a place that the Agori and Matoran have figured out is basically like kind of like a small version of the Bermuda Triangle. Like, you go there and just mystery people disappear. That was a good explanation. So as the name of the peaks entails, the region was supposed to honor Montanui and his sacrifice. Even though it's been only a few days since Spherus caused, a vast majority of Toa, Rahi, Matoran, and other beings from the Matoran universe live there along with plenty of Bara Magna natives. This may seem kind of obvious considering I have characters like Magadi, Kumai, and Metrip who all work for the Order of Montanui, but I guess I'll say the Order will play a bigger part later in the series as well. I've got some pretty cool mocks who will be part of the Order, including a Helrix mock, but is that any surprise? And yes, I realize this had nothing to do with plot holes, but it's just something I wanted to tell you guys about. So I was a little worried for the series once BIONICLE 2015 was announced, since LoSM picks up right where the main storyline left off. But I have a loophole that can make my series, and pretty much any other series, not only possible but also even accurate. Alternate frickin' universes. I mean, they're using the canon storyline, so I see no reason not to use them in my own. I'll also probably have a fourth wall break in the series finale that mentions this kind of thing. I know I haven't answered all the questions, but some things I've left out are to eventually be explained in LoSM. For example, episode 13 will have Magadi's backstory with the Toa Vecta. Kuamai will explain what he knows about the Yellow Spheres in mid to late season 1. Speaking of Kuamai, his other employer will be revealed about halfway through the first season. So that's it for this episode, guys. However, if you want more information, this series has basically replaced a wikia I created, Legends of Spherus Magna wiki. So I'm pretty much done editing this wiki. However, you guys can check it out if you want to see some more information about certain things. I'd just like to clarify that people may edit it, and there are some things that I have already changed in my head, so don't entirely rely upon whatever you see in this wiki. That is it for this episode of LoSM Plot Holes. I know it's kind of boring like an update video, but it was the best way I could think of to convey all this extra info in my head. Again, please don't edit LoSM wiki, even though you probably have the power to do so. And comment below what your favorite part of my series is so far, or what you hope to see in the future. Anyway guys, this is LEGO Minecraft 9, and see ya!